Okay, so day 8, off in the morning in Jeju, seeing our hotel view in the daytime, making our way to the bus stop to get to the airport. That's where we're getting picked up for our tour of the west side of Jeju. And this is our intrepid tour guide. And we're just traveling alongside the Jeju coastline before we make our first stop at Hyopje Beach. The water's super beautiful, and during low tide you can walk out. When we got there, they were filming something. It looked pretty interesting, but yeah, the beach itself has white sand, and it's was really nice, really pretty. But we were only there for like 15 minutes, but in that time was able to go splash around in the water a little bit before going back into the bus before our next stop at Halim Park, which is like this big garden, and it had a whole bunch of areas. This is their kind of palm tree avenue, and then they had a couple of caves actually, and those were really cool temperature wise and interesting to walk through and kind of learn about the geologic formation of the area. A lot of stone and rock artwork as well as this bonsai section with some really old trees and just also other like rock sculptures and whatnot collections. They had this old folk village recreation that was pretty cool. This largest statue, which is like the guardian spirit, grandfather of Jeju, something like that. Here they had this also bird section, just kind of random, just flowers and birds that you could see. And then my favorite was this kind of water area with just ponds and a whole bunch of water lilies that were in bloom. But we didn't get to actually see all of the areas, but out of all the ones we saw, this one had a waterfall. It had this kind of greenhouse section with tropical plants and then a whole bunch of reptiles and fish. It was really cool to see. I got this shot glass as a souvenir. And then off to our next stop, which was this just really short hike in a forest, just kind of showing just like the natural forest of Jeju before going off to lunch at this restaurant, which is like this buffet style bibimbap place where you just kind of take whatever you want just on your plate, and you can, I guess, go up for seconds however many times you want. After that, we're going to our next stop, which is the Osalak Tea Museum, and our tour guide was like roasting this place because the museum was only like this one wall, and then the rest of the the rest of the museum was just their store. He was saying like, don't waste your money here, but here you could see workers packing the drink, and then there were free tea tasting samples that you can do. I got this fresh green tea, and then I went back to get this Hala volcanic tea rock, whatever. Yeah, so here's a shop where you can buy tea, and each kind of tea has this kind of smell where you can smell what it tastes like. So we bought a couple teas, wasted our money. But it had this nice outdoor area, and the next door was Innisfree building with free like postcard stamp zone, and then a whole bunch of products that you could test. And then outside there was this picturesque tea field where we took some photos. So back on the bus, passing by the Jeju rural countryside, off to our next stop, which is the Mara Provincial Marine Park, which is this mountain. So it was right next to the ocean, and we pretty much just hiked up this mountain. There's a couple statues along the way, as mountains do. It was uphill all the way. Saw some horses, and then here's the crater where the volcano erupted. And this is just the view from the top. And there was like no shade, and it was 31 degrees, and the sun is just beating down. So it was so hot. And then we went walking a little bit more just to this, I guess, lookout point. Over here you can see the cliffs of the island. You can see the basalt pillars from the lava formation. After that, it's the long trek back to the bus. Passed by some Jehovah's Witnesses that were standing out here in the sun, and I was so sweaty. I was wearing these long pants. It was not a good idea, but we stopped at GS25 and got some drinks to rehydrate it. My back was literally soaked with sweat. Um, so the bus ride to our final stop now, just some waterfalls. Just there's these plaques talking about the history of the place and this really cool bridge where you go super high up over the gorge. And then this is their memorial for April 3rd, which was kind of like, I guess, like a massacre in Jeju. 10% of the population was killed. Anyways, this is the second waterfall. And here we are making our trek to the first waterfall next to this ancient irrigation channel, actually. And so there is this place where you can just drink the mountain water, and you know I already drank it. It tastes a little sweet. And here we are at the first waterfall. We got lucky today. Normally there's no water or only like one stream, but today there was two streams, so that was nice. Anyways, back to the bus and back to being dropped off at our hotel, passed by the new Jeju City area, and witnessed this really cool sunset where the sun was just all red. So we finally get back to the hotel. I take a quick shower to wash off all the sweat, and then we go out for dinner. Have this set with this stewed rockfish and abalone, and it was so good. We demolished it, absolutely everything. And then we went back to this shopping street that was near our hotel. Our first stop with this Kodak store, and the style of every item here was so just stylish. Like, oh my goodness. Anyways, I bought a shirt. Maybe you'll see it tomorrow. Also went to 8 seconds because I was still open. And then, yeah, just walked over to GS25 to take a look at their soju collection, and turns out that they did have one soju. So this is J Park's brand. Apparently only GS25 sells it. So we bought a bottle, went back home, passed by this pork restaurant that had Peppa Pig outside, and got stuck at this dang light again. Went to check out the hotel amenities. So this is the game room. And then got to try the soju. It was just okay. I don't know. Didn't really like it that much. But anyways, that was the day.